Phone call. Phone.
I'd like to call tonight's meeting of the Lower Macungie Board of Commissioners to order. If you could all please stand for a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, for matters of the roll call, everyone is in attendance. Our planning director, Nate Jones, is joining us through Zoom. There are no agenda modifications this evening. There are no announcements or presentations. Hearings and approvals, 6.1, Resolution 2025-36, approving a modification to the approved land development for Spring Creek Estates 2022 project. Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir. I can speak to this. This is a project that you should all be familiar with. This is the Spring Creek Estates 2022 project, which consists of 2 lots where in each case 2 banks of rental townhomes where apartments were constructed. The modification of plan proposes a new bank of 4 units on one of the lots that previously only had 2. This was before the board at a workshop, but due to some technical items regarding stormwater management, it did need to go back for a technical review. You can see the lot in question over on the right-hand side there. That said, it should be noted that the aspects that were previously reviewed and discussed were taken care of during the review phase. In particular, again, the stormwater management issues. It was also reviewed from a zoning and planning perspective to make sure it was compliant on those aspects as well. And I would note thou at this point in time, if the township engineer wants to speak to any other details, there was a significant amount of time spent on the specific stormwater engineering design side of things following the initial planning and zoning review.
Now, all I have to say is we issued our letter and the stormwater management report hadn't been submitted. Between then and now, the engineer did submit the report. We took a look at it. We have no issues. The majority of the comments in our review are basically just some draft and cleanup stuff. So we have no issue with this moving forward.
Okay. Oh, Alan.
Hello.
Hi, Alan. Does the applicant have anything to add?
Hello. No, I do not. Thank you for your time.
Alan?
So I do have just one item, and that is, and I talked to the township staff about this, in the engineer's review letter, item 13D as in dog, talks about some issue with recording of the plan. Unfortunately, the project includes both properties, the one on Steinway and the one on Danner. The changes that we of Keystone have taken on only relate to Steinway. So the plans clearly state that nothing that we're doing changes anything with Danner. So if there's any issue with that plan recordation, that should be handled separately. So we take exception to 13D, but otherwise it's will comply.
Yeah, I did speak about this issue with Alan, and we'll handle it with Mariano.
Okay.
The applicant, sorry.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions?
Yes.
Commissioner Robert?
In the resolution, well, in the plan, in the planning commission letter, they reference one resolution number, and in the engineer's letter, another resolution number is indicated, and in the resolution, both of those numbers occur. If I remember correctly, it's something like 2019 36 for one and 2023 37 for the other, or something like that. And so they probably ought to be consistent.
We can check and get the resolution dressed up?
Let's see here. It mentions 2020-36, which is also in the Planning Commission letter.
Yeah, but then the CCAS letter, it says 23-37,
Okay.
which quite frankly, probably, well, no, I don't know.
Okay, we'll get that cleared up for the resolution. Okay. Are there any other commissioner comments or questions?
I would just note,
Yes.
Ms. Flexer has pulled the resolution for the approval of the plan, which occurred July 20th, 2023. That resolution is 2023-37, which is mentioned in the engineer's letter. So, yeah, at this point, that looks like the referenced one is the appropriate resolution.
Okay. Okay, are there any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Item 6.2, Resolution 2025-37, approving a revision of the Lower Macungie Township Official Act 537 Plan as part of the Regional Act 537 Plan. Mr. Beidle.
Thank you. As we've discussed at length for the last at least year, this is the amended and updated 537 regional plan that we're in with the rest of our peer communities and the Lehigh County Authority. It was required by the DEP that we create and move this plan through as a source reduction plan. This does define all of those items that we currently are doing and look to do in the future to reduce inflow and infiltration to the township sanitary system. So what you have before you is consideration of the approval of that plan. It's been through the Planning Commission. It's sat for public comment. This would allow for it to move to the next phase, which is to be provided to the Lehigh County Authority. They would take all of these approval resolutions from the other municipalities and then submit them to the DEP as part of that master plan for review and either approval or denial by the state.
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Item 6.3, Resolution 2025-38, adopting the Lehigh Valley 2024 Hazard Mitigation Plan. Mr. Tranguch.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight for the board's consideration is a resolution to adopt the 2024 Lehigh Valley Hazard Mitigation Plan. The last Lehigh Valley Hazard Mitigation Plan was adopted in 2018, and this plan updates that plan. It currently includes county municipality statistics to reduce the natural and human-caused disasters for residents of the Lehigh and Northampton counties. Hazard mitigation planning is a critical tool for reducing the loss of life and property by disrupting and cyclical nature of these hazards. So by adopting the resolution, you'll assure the township, along with its residents, will be eligible for programs like hazard mitigation assistance grants, flood mitigation assistance, congressionally directed spending funds during natural disasters, among other federal, state, and local funding that may become available. The plan is currently in the approved pending adoption phase, and the township has to formally adopt this resolution to retain a hazard mitigation plan and be eligible for any funding. Be happy to answer any further questions or offer more details if needed.
Okay. Do I have
Move
a
to
motion?
approve.
Motion. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions?
Yes.
Yes, Commissioner Robert.
This actually seems like it ought to be a flood hazard mitigation plan that I did notice in the Lower Macungie part, it does make a one-line reference to Buckeye Pipeline or Buckeye Tank Farm and also to the railroad tracks. And I realized that the fire department is working with Buckeye to be able to deal with hazards there. But with all of the derailments that have occurred in the last year or so from various causes, we probably ought to look at more at the railroad issue, that in our ordinance currently, there's not any provision for a setback from railroad tracks, which would, if there is a derailment, of course, the trains tend to jackknife and spread out a good bit. So what comes to mind is the apartments next to the Weiss Market in particular, but also the township annex and what used to be Drees now. Werg is there. So I think the township probably ought to look into what kind of a safe zone should be provided around railroad tracks in case of a derailment.
Take that under advisement, Bruce?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good. Any other commissioner comments or questions? Seeing and any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Any public comment on non-agenda topics? Seeing none, there is no communication to be read this evening. There are no appointments to boards, committees, or commissions. Item 10, approval of minutes from previous meeting.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes from the August 7th, 2025 meeting. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 11, approval of transfers, bill list, and payroll. Mr. Beidle.
We have the following for your consideration. The general fund, $264,184.77. The solid waste fund, $126,244.19. The sewer fund, $13,726.38. The debt service fund, $1,670,678.53. Capital Projects Fund, $356,418.13. The Open Space Fund, $383.50. The Liquid Fuels Fund, $39,133.63. The payroll, $222,866.18. Developer escrow, $39,083.90. For a total of all funds, $2,732,719.21.
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 12, departmental matters. 12.1, engineering. Mr. McAdam.
Excuse me, I have nothing to report.
Okay, any questions for the engineer? 12.2, planning. Mr. Jones.
Only one item to report, Mr. President. Tuesday evening, the 26th at 6 p.m., the Planning Commission will be hosting a workshop with respect to some administrative zoning ordinance text amendments. I think for members of the public and members of the board who are listening to that tonight, I would just like to note for the record that doesn't include any changes to any uses or the zoning map or any land use policy changes. It's quite honestly just functional changes based off of enforcement and administration that we have seen and been provided by our zoning officer, Mr. Trent Gooch, and myself have kept for some time to just make sure that the ordinance is working as well as it possibly can. So you're welcome to join us for that workshop, and the members of the public are welcome to join that workshop as well. Take any questions, go over everything, answer any questions that people might have, as well as give everyone a look at what we're looking to try and do here. So happy to take any questions. Other than that, we'd be happy to see people on Tuesday night.
Okay. Any questions for the planner? 12.3, solicitor, Solicitor Broman. Okay, any questions for the solicitor? 12.4, township manager, Mr. Beidle.
Thank you. I just have a couple housekeeping items here this evening. Just a reminder, the budget workshops, we've now scheduled them October 8th, 22nd, and if needed, the 29th and November 5th, all at 6 p.m. Also, to note for the public and those that might want to come visit us at our September monthly meetings here in this building, our elevator repair is actually going to be happening in September. Our first meeting of the board will be in this room. So the first week of September will be here. After that, all the meetings in September will be at the community center. So the planning commission on the 11th, board of commissioners on the 18th, the commissioners workshop on the 22nd, the zoning hearing board on the 23rd, and potentially the October 2nd board of commissioner meeting. So we're going to try to get that project done. Ms. Flexer has advertised in the paper the location change, but we want to make sure people are aware due to the elevator being down, we'll be kind of relocated. So the only other item, of course, wanted to thank the Garden Club for taking care of the campus, everything they do here, all their plantings in front of the building. And then also the Weber family. The Weber family was involved with the Freedom Memorial Garden years and years ago at the community center as a project. They have continued to take care of that project since its inception. So we want to make sure that we acknowledge them in all of their work. They also raise and lower the flag there when needed. And, you know, residents take note for members of their community that have provided the garden and have maintained it, and then the grounds. So that's all I have unless there's questions from any of the board.
Commissioner Robert.
What room are the meetings in the community center?
They'll be in the back meeting rooms, and we're actually going to take up both meeting rooms 1 and 2.
In the back conference center area.
Okay.
Yeah, not the front rooms that people may be familiar with. We'll be in the back component of the building.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions for the manager? Okay, item 13, other business. Is there any old business this evening to discuss? Is there any new business to discuss? Item 14, Board of Commissioner reports. The next board workshop is August 25th, 2025 at 6 p.m. The next regular scheduled board meeting is September 4th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Additionally, we'd like to announce a new event that will be taking place starting September 6th, Coffee with the Commissioners. We will be hosting, one or more of the commissioners will be hosting a Coffee with the Commissioners at the Community Center every Saturday morning starting on September 6th, with the exception of November 29th and December 27th, from 9 to 10 a.m. or longer, depending on attendance at the Community Center. So feel free to come on out, engage with your commissioners on a very casual and informal way, have some coffee and donuts. We look forward to everybody who can attend. There was no executive session prior to the meeting. There will be no executive session after the meeting. And with that, we are adjourned.